Hey there everybody, Rooster speaking, and today we have ourselves the Core 3500 Windowed Edition computer case by Fractal Design. So let's go ahead and start off with the front. You're going to have your power button here, your reset button, your microphone and headphone jacks, plus two USB 3.0 ports. So you can see the front panel is kind of a brushed aluminum look, but in fact it's plastic, which to some of you may be a turnoff, but in all honesty it's going to be a whole lot better for fingerprints, and by that I mean it's not going to be attracting as many, and it's going to be much easier to clean. So you're getting that nice brushed aluminum look without the mess, and you know what? I like it. You also have two 5¼ inch bays right here. As you can see along the sides here of the front panel, you can see this kind of mesh filter going on. These are not really removable, but you can take off the front panel and, dust them out or wash them out, clean them in whatever fashion is much easier for you. It would have been nice to see them if, maybe they're removable, but no big deal. Again, this is more of an entry-level case in Fractal Design's lineup. So as for the side panels, the one side panel on the back is kind of just plain black and nice, paint job, nothing special going on there. But on the main side, you're going to see a window, kind of a tinted window, smoky kind of a window, not overly smoky, you can still see perfectly fine on the inside. In the rear over here, you see what your I/O shield is going to be, and if you happen to see an I/O shield in this, just go ahead and ignore that. That's for a future build, which will be in a separate video. You have your expansion slots here for all your cards and add-in material, whatever you may have. And thankfully, thumb screws here to remove both side panels. It would have been nice to see them captive, but, slowly but surely everyone is kind of jumping onto the captive screws, so that way you don't have to risk losing them, misplacing them, but it's no big deal, at least they are thumb screws. So now as we get into the inside, guys, you're going to see a nice big fat CPU cutout. Good to see that, so that when you want to go ahead and install any big aftermarket coolers after already having your motherboard in, not having to swap everything out, because that would be annoying. Plus you do get this lovely little box of all your screws, zip ties, and all the material you'll need to get up and running. Now the drive cages here, you have your drives, your main hard drive cage here at the bottom right, along with, right between that first 140mm R2 fan. The top for the 5¼ inch bays could be a little more rigid. You'll see at the top here, the top area, you have another 140mm R2 fan, and in the rear for exhaust. Both of these are going to work as exhaust. Remember, heat rises, all that jazz. And with that, you do have many spots here to install some radiators. The top either being a 240mm radiator or 280, and on the front, I believe you can do a 240 or maybe even a 280 as well. Now, one thing I will gripe about, and most every other YouTuber has griped about this same thing, on top of their Node 804, I forget what other models also include this, a fan controller is nice, but where they situated this is a little, what? I'm not going to gripe too much on it, everyone else already has, so I'm just going to say, if you don't mind, just leave it in, but the whole green PCB is just, no, not my thing. The location could have been, I don't know, it just could have been put in the back, it could have been somewhere else, or at least have the PCB be black, including the wire endings, could have been sleeved a little bit better to make this a little more discreet. And then cable management holes. These grommets are surprisingly well, considering that this is more the entry-level, again, model of Fractal Design's lineup, the 3500 series. And yeah, the rubber along these little grommets seem fairly good. And the space for cable management in the back, you got enough. You got a lot of cable tie-down spots. Some of the cables are already routed, as you can see, your USB 3, HD audio, and USB, that's all routed exactly where it should be coming out from. Or, I mean, you can, obviously situate them wherever you want later, but they're all black, all nice and sleeved. It's not going to be an eyesore, thankfully. And again, yeah, there's just a lot of room back here for cable management. Enough room, ample room for your 24-pin cable, which is always going to be your thickest cable. And that's exactly what she said. So all in all, guys, my conclusion, at least, after my first impressions with this case, it's a very well-rounded case. A few things here that could be, or rather even should be, changed. There's always going to be something, more than likely, that could be changed or could be addressed or could be improved upon. But this case, I do like it. It's a very good entry-level case for someone that's just starting out with PC building and wants something with that Scandinavian, minimalistic aesthetic, nice clean lines, nothing jagged, nothing over the top and transformer looking like. This is very, very nice, and I'm very content with my experience with it so far. Now, as for what I'm going to do with the case, a full AMD build will be done in this case, and I do plan to make that into a separate video. And yep, this has been the Core 3500 by Fractal Design. Don't forget it's a windowed edition, in fact. And if you guys enjoyed, again, give the video a like or dislike, subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. And as you can see, as we remove the front panel here to eventually clean those little side vents that are filtered, we have our first 140 millimeter. Oh, I turned into Chekhov there for a moment. Yes, Captain. I am currently channeling Chekhov, Jerkoff. Oh, God, I'm leaving that in.